What's up, guys? Welcome back to the UFC arena. UFC 268 is here already. We just had UFC 267, so for fight fans, this is Christmas time already. Okay, so I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm not going to talk about every single fight on this card in detail. I'm just going to brush past a few of the fighters that I do have my eye on. So let's start in the prelims. We have Edmund Shabazian versus Nasruddin Imavov. So Edmund Shabazian is someone that I had my eye on. He was undefeated coming up, knocking people out left and right. His boxing was looking fast and crisp. And then he ran into the gatekeeper, that is Derek Brunson, and he got smashed. Then he lost to Jack Hermanson, and the hype train has been fully stopped, fully derailed. So I'm kind of looking to see how he's gonna bounce back now, because he's definitely talented, he definitely has a lot of skills, but he needs to put everything together better. And I hope that he's getting the right coaching, because we know Edmond Taverdian is a kind of sketchy coach sometimes. But anyway, I'll definitely be paying attention to Edmund Shabazian. Next we have Phil Hawes versus Chris Curtis, but the fight didn't take place, so he's fighting on this card. I have my eye on him. Funny enough, he has the same record as Edmund Shabazian. They are both 11-2. We have Al Iaquinta versus Bobby Green, two veterans. This is gonna make for an exciting fight because Bobby Green is entertaining and Al Iaquinta does not back down. Next up we have Alex Pereira, the only man to knock out Israel Adesanya. He's a kickboxer and we know that he's very high level. We saw what Adesanya did when he came to the UFC, but there is no guarantee that Alex Pereira could come and do the same things that Adesanya did. Adesanya tailored his game little by little, and you could see the improvement in Adesanya from fight to fight, where he was able to stop these takedowns. He was able to keep the fight on the feet and outstrike all of his opponents. Now, if Pereira is able to keep the fight on his feet, then obviously he's gonna have a lot of success. But we don't know. He's far less tested in MMA than someone like Israel Adesanya. And of course, it will be quite interesting if he eventually does make it to Israel Adesanya to see how an MMA fight between these two guys looks. But anyway, he's now getting in here. This is his debut, so let's see what he looks like. I mean, we have some other successful kickboxers that came in that, they don't always work out. We saw Gokhan Saki, very high level kickboxer, came in, got knocked out by Khalil Roundtree. So let's see what happens. The main card opener is Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. And let's just say the UFC knows exactly what they were doing when they put that fight there. But before we talk about that, let's just gloss over Shane Burgos versus Billy Quarantillo. This is going to be an exciting fight. Possible fight of the night, knowing how these two guys fight. Shane Burgos does not back down. He's a boxing heavy style. He likes to bang, which has been his downfall several times. And then we have Billy Quarantillo, who is just a wild fighter. He has a kind of awkward style to him. He would keep his hands down. He has a lot of movement. He would have crazy grappling exchanges and scrambles. So it's definitely going to be a wild fight. And if it turns into a dog fight, it's going to be fun for the fans. Next up, we have Frankie Edgar versus Marlon Vera. Now, I like both of these guys, and honestly, I don't really know who's going to win this one. Frankie has a tendency of winning these types of fights. Usually, the people that beat Frankie Edgar are the elite of the elite, and Marlon Vera has not yet proven that he's at that level. I love Marlon Vera's style though. He comes to fight every time. He will walk forward, he's throwing punches, he's trying to end the fight. He's a finisher. But Frankie Edgar is a veteran and he knows how to stay safe out there for the most part. He knows how to keep his foot moving and he knows how to win fights. And I think he's gonna win this one. So I'm gonna go with Frankie Edgar. Okay. So now we're talking about the big three on the card. So Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. This is going to be a wild fight. Another possible fight of the night contender. These guys are explosive, both of them. They are powerful. They're exciting to watch. Michael Chandler is new to the UFC, but his two fights have been exciting and explosive. And I expect this one to be no different. Chandler has promised us that he's not going to take the first step back. We know Gaethje is a madman. Let's see what happens. So when I look at their striking, I would have to give the edge to Justin Gaethje, especially this new and improved Justin Gaethje that we saw from the Tony Ferguson fight. That Justin Gaethje is technical, He's patient, he's powerful, and he's a problem. The wrestling advantage, I would probably have to give to Michael Chandler. Now, I know that Justin Gaethje is a very credentialed wrestler. The only reason I'm giving the edge to Michael Chandler is because I think Chandler uses his wrestling more. You know, there's a saying, if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. You know, I was watching the Embedded, and the similarities between Gaethje and Chandler is actually quite interesting. How they both were big stars outside the UFC. They both came into the UFC with a lot of hype. They both had knockout finishes in their first fight. They both ascended to fight for the title. They both lost when they fought for the title. They both have 22 wins. They both did backflips off the top of the cage when they won. It's almost as though these two guys were meant to fight. So who am I going to go with in this fight? I'm going to go with Justin Gaethje. Why? Because I don't think that Michael Chandler is going to hold on Justin Gaethje the way that Khabib did. And I think that the new version of Gaethje on the feet is a little more defensively responsible than Michael Chandler might be. Now, full disclosure, I have not watched that many Michael Chandler fights, so this prediction here is based off of limited knowledge on Michael Chandler. I'm just going off of the improvements that I have seen with Justin Gaethje, and I think that that version of Justin Gaethje is a champion, and he's a problem for a lot of people in this division. This is a close fight though, but I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje. I'm gonna say 60% chance Gaethje wins, 40% chance Chandler wins. I'm gonna say second round knockout. I'm going big. Anyway, next fight, Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang. Now, first of all, I think Carla Esparza should be fighting for the title, and I'm pretty sure Weili Zhang is getting this immediate rematch because the UFC wants to have that Chinese champion. In the first fight, I think I picked Weili to win barely. But then I remember when I was watching the fight, I was watching it with a group of friends, and they were talking about how, oh, Weili gonna smash Rose, and you know, it's not even gonna be close. And I was like, wait, you're sleeping on Rose though. Don't sleep on Rose, because Rose is really good. And as soon as I said that, boom, Rose kicks Weili in the head. Fight is over, and I'm like, I told you guys, don't sleep on Rose. Because even though I had picked Weili, I still knew how good Rose Namajunas was, and she turned out even better than I thought. Rose is improving, and her movement and her striking is still beautiful. I still think she has the best striking in this division, definitely the most polished. Where Rose struggles sometimes is pressure. When you put heavy pressure on Rose, she does start to get tired, she does start to get a little sloppy, and she does start to get a little irresponsible with her defense. And we saw this in the second fight versus Jessica Andrade. That third round for Rose was not pretty. Rose left that fight all lumped up, and if that fight went longer, Rose would have been in some issues. Why? Because of the pressure of Jessica Andrade. We know that Jessica Andrade is a tank, and she just comes forward and she just keeps throwing. I thought in the first fight that Weili would be able to do the same thing, and I still think she can. She just needs to fight smarter. She needs to not underestimate Rose, and she needs to try to stay safe out there. Now, that's easier said than done because Rose Namajunas is a beast. Excellent movement, very crafty striking. She will throw things to trick you and catch you. In the first fight, she faked as if she was going low. Boom, head kick. Fight is over. With all of that being said, I'm still gonna go with Rose for this fight. Not because she won her last fight, but her striking is just so impressive. And when Rose Namajunas is on, it's just as she said, she's the best in the world. But I'm in no means underestimating Weili Zhang. Weili Zhang is a powerhouse. She's always in excellent tip-top shape. She has 5-round cardio. She also has great striking. It's just not as good as Rose's, but she has great striking. She is very aggressive, and she can put pressure on you. So I think this fight is definitely going to be more competitive than the last one was. I think Weili is going to stay a lot more safe, but in the end, I do think Rose is going to beat her, and this time it might be a 5-round decision. Okay, and now for the main event of the evening, the Nigerian Nightmare Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. This fight is definitely going to be eye-opening. When we look at Kamaru and we look at Colby, there are a lot of similarities between them. They are very high-level wrestlers with good striking. Kamaru, as of late, has been improving. But of course, Kamaru has fought a lot more than Colby has. Since their first fight, Kamaru has fought 3 times, Colby has fought once. Colby might have been getting better as well, but who knows. But either way, Colby Covington is still the next best guy in his division, and he's gonna give Kamaru Usman a run for his money. I think Colby is gonna wrestle this time. I don't know how that's gonna affect the fight or change the fight. I was very interested to see who would be the superior wrestler in their first fight, but no one wrestled. I think Usman's striking has grown leaps and bounds under Trevor Whitman, and he's definitely a problem. I think if the fight stays on the feet this time, Colby Covington gets knocked out even sooner, because Kamaru Usman has been improving, and that is crazy to think because he was already such a dominant champion and now he's just getting better. No one, and I mean no one, thought Usman was gonna knock out Jorge Masvidal the way he did. Like, come on, that was a beautiful knockout. Masvidal has never been killed like that. You know, fighting is all about what have you done for me lately. And lately we've seen that Usman's striking has been improving. We have not seen a big improvement to Colby's striking, but Colby is still Colby, right? High pressure, powerful wrestling, amazing pace, good stamina, and all-round good fighter. Hard to take down, hard to finish, just a tough guy. This fight is going to be very revealing. Either we are going to see that Kamaru Usman has gotten significantly better since their first fight, or we're going to see that Usman just looked that much better because the level of competition he faced was not at the same level as Colby has been. So either way, it's going to be a fun fight, that much I know. I'm going to go with Kamaru Usman. He's probably going to finish Colby late again, or it's going to be a 5-round decision. But anyway guys, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed my content, please remember to like, please remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below, let me hear your thoughts. I would love to hear from you guys. We are trying to get to 300 subscribers, so help your boy out, and I'll see you all in the next one.